So we've got our new account, we've completed our colour challenges, unlocked all of the starter decks. Now it's time to make our first mono red deck and see how we do in the ranked games. Welcome back to the Game School Dad channel with me, Martin, and we are playing mono red. Now this is basically a starter mono red. This is like our first ever mono red for this account. We are basically using the cards that we happen to have from the jump-in events, from the small number of packs that we've opened. We do have some wild cards up here. We haven't used any of the wild cards. Maybe a couple of common or uncommon, possibly. But we haven't used any of the rare or mythic rare because we don't want to kind of skew our results by just crafting the best mono red we can. This is a test to see how well our mono red can stand up on the ranked games, even though we're just kind of putting all the cards we happen to have in there. There is some strategy to the deck though. It is a mono red aggro deck. I'll take you through some of the cards so we know what we're working with. We have Command who faces Carcazan, so we can do damage, add a counter onto a creature, and create a 2/2 haste creature of our own, all for 1 mana, so that's really great. We have Play with Fire, 2 damage to any target. We have Rabbit Battery to give other creatures haste and +1, or to reconfigure and move around as we need it. We have a Braid that's 3 damage to target creature or destroying target artifacts, so in case we find any big artifact creatures. We have Feldon, Ronom, Excavator, a legendary 2/2 with haste that can't block, but if it is dealt damage by the opponent, we get to exile some cards from the top of our library and choose one and play it till next turn. So it's basically an extra card draw, kind of, if we get blocked. If Feldon gets blocked. We have Lightning Strike, so 3 damage to any target, really useful instant spell there. We have Reckless Impulse, a common sorcery, but exile top 2 cards of our library till the end of our next turn. We can play those. So if we're stuck on land, we can play that. If we're stuck on other creatures or spells, we can play this to bring more things out. We have Sardian Cliff Stomper. Now this one I haven't used before. I just put it in because we had it in our collection. So it's one of those starter things. We have a 0/4. Once we have 4 or more mountains, it gets +X to its power, where X is the number of mountains we control. So on turn 4, or when we have 4 lands out, it'll be a 4/4. Not amazing for aggro, but it kind of helps block if our opponent is doing the same kind of things to us. We have Twinferno to copy an instant or sorcery that we cast, so we can do 2 lightning strikes or 2 reckless impulses. And we can also give a creature we control double strike till end of turn, so we can pick between one of those two, whichever one suits the situation best. We have Balduvian Berserker, which can enlist creatures to increase its power, and when it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. So again, we might be able to remove or do some final damage to the opponent's face with our Berserker if it dies. We have Giant Cindermaw, 4/3 Trample. I hadn't seen this one before. It's from the Brothers War set, which is the newest set, latest set at the moment. Players can't gain life, so we have no life gain in our deck. Just in case the opponent has some life gain, we can stop them gaining that life. We have Keldon Flamesage, human 2/3 with enlist. Whenever it attacks, we can look at the top X cards of our library, where X is its power. We can exile one of those and play it without paying its mana cost. So it has to have mana value X or less. So if we attack without enlisting, it's a 2/3. We can look at the top 2 cards if we find an instant or sorcery with mana value 1 or 2, so a Play with Fire, or a Braid, a Lightning Strike, a Reckless Impulse, or a Twinferno, we can cast that immediately. So a nice extra kind of spell we can use, and if they don't block Keldon, or if Keldon survives, we can do that again next turn. So it's kind of repeated card draw, which is really useful. We have Professional Facebreaker from New Capenna, 2/3 Menace. Whenever one or more creatures you control deals combat damage to a player, you create a treasure token. So we can use that for extra mana to play more cards quickly, or we can sacrifice one to exile top card of our library and play that card this turn. So again, it's a way of drawing extra cards off the top of our deck. We have Reckless Stormseeker, a nice little aggro creature that can give itself or other things +1 power and haste until end of turn, so we can start hitting things a bit harder. We have Squee, Dubious Monarch, which is a legendary 2/2. Whenever it attacks, it creates another 1/1 goblin that's also tapped and attacking. We can play it from our graveyard as well if we have other cards in our graveyard that we can get rid of. So there's a few options with Squee. We have Draconic Destiny. I think this one we picked up from a quick draft event. We can enchant a creature, give that creature +1/+1 and flying and haste, and it can also pay 1 mana to increase its power by 1, and when the creature dies we return Draconic Destiny to our hand so we can play it again. So again, a use of drawing extra cards or replaying cards. And then we have Atsushi, the Blazing Sky, a legendary dragon spirit, which I think we got from the jump-in events. It's a flying trample 4/4. Whenever it dies, we can exile top 2 cards of our library. Again, something extra to play. Or we can create 3 treasure tokens if we have maybe not enough land, or just lots of creatures in our hand that we've drawn or that we can use. So lots of things we can do with that. And then we have 22 mountains in the deck as well. So it's a 60 card deck, and we have 17 creatures, 14 instants, 2 sorceries. So we have quite a good balance of spells and creatures, and we're going to see how this does in our ranked games. Now we're starting in bronze because that's where you start, but we're going to see how quickly we can progress using our mono red deck, and then the other 4 colours of decks will be coming up in the next 4 videos as well. Okay, let's go. Okay, opponent goes first, which isn't ideal, but we have a Braid, we can destroy something, we have Rabbit Battery to play. I'm going to keep it. You can see what they do on their first turn and then react accordingly. Okay, they've done nothing, so let's go with the haste. Start doing some damage. Hopefully they put out a creature we can kill with a Braid. That'll do. It does kind of help ramp them, so it still has some benefit even if we kill it straight away. But we want to get Rabbit Battery to get through. So let's just take it out. And keep attacking. Okay. We have Destroy Target Artifact. That's an enchantment. That's a shame. So we can Reckless Impulse. See what we draw. Okay, we've got lots of lands now. We could attack, but we would die. We can't play anything else. Let's just wait for a minute. We really could do with some other creatures. Like an Atsushi right now would be really nice. We could destroy that as we have a Braid to stop them drawing more cards. We've definitely got enough land. There's our Cliff Stomper. And we can attach our battery to the Cliff Stomper and attack. They're just going to block, but their creatures are currently 1/1s. And if we can get rid of them, they're not going to have 2/2s in a minute to block with. Unless they have something they can do with their 2 white mana, which it looks like they could possibly do something. Of course, they could draw off Bank Buster, so maybe that's what it's holding off on. Okay, let's see how it goes next turn. They're drawing a card. We want to destroy Bank Buster really to stop them drawing cards. I bet they have something. There we go, to get rid of us. It gets rid of the big creature, but we keep the battery because it wasn't a creature just now. We don't want to lose it though, so we're going to let them attack. Use our life as a resource because we can't gain life. We're not intending to gain life. We don't really want the game to go on long enough to need to gain life. So let's go with Reckless Impulse again. We really could do with more creatures. Drawing all these other spells, which are great, but they're not creatures. Now we're just playing Kamano because we want to make use of the fact that we drew that card with Reckless Impulse. We really want to have another creature to play next turn, so hopefully we'll draw one. Wandering Emperor. We'll give it +1. Stop it dying. There you go. Okay, we could have done the damage to their face instead. Let's play our land. And no attacks, because they have first strike, they will just kill us. We definitely aren't doing very well with the fact that we're not drawing enough creatures.
I have got new moves to teach you.
I wonder if they'll just grow their creatures and just sit there and wait. No, they're going to attack. I don't mind taking the damage. Seraph Paragon to bring back the farmhand. Oh, they didn't bring back the farmhand. Interesting. Right, we still don't have a creature. Which is kind of annoying. There you go, never mind. So we can kill the Paragon. We could kill the Wandering Emperor. Can't do both. We can put out Kakazan. Twin Inferno and a Braid to get rid of the Paragon. It's not going to do very much though. We really don't have much chance of winning this now. Okay, well let's copy an instant or sorcery. We're at a slight disadvantage being against mythics, rares, mythics. But we're going to try and hold up as best we can with our commons and uncommons. See what we can do. We're holding up, kind of, slightly. The fact they have Bankbuster and we haven't been able to destroy it means they're really getting ahead of us on cards as well.
Show them how we
This is
greet
definitely
our
a big
enemies.
disadvantage having one of these starter decks. Even in the bronze rank that we're playing in right now. But we'll see. We'll see what we can do. Another Bankbuster. This is not looking good. They're definitely going to outvalue our little 1/1 creature. The only one that's managed to survive this long. We have a Reckless Stormseeker, which we really want, but not going to be enough. So that's on 5. We have 2 there. So if I destroy... I presume they will crew with a Bankbuster. There we go, okay, we're crewing with a Bankbuster. And we can put our creature. Do we get the +1 counter this turn? I think we do. So it's not enough to keep us alive because we're going to have 5/5 that can block their 5/5. We can kill the Bankbuster, but we'll lose Reckless Stormseeker in exchange. Well, let's do it anyway because we're not going to win this game. We've been outvalued by the Bankbusters, the Wedding Announcements, the Paragons, the Emperors. What else do we have? Lay Down Arms. So they can just block with the Bankbuster here. We're down to a 2/2 and nothing else. Or they can let the Emperor go. They let the Emperor go. Interesting. But next turn they can still attack us for at least 7. Got Roadside Reliquary. So they can draw a card for the artifact and the enchantment. So really useful card draw in their deck. Quite like it. And Spirited Companion, again more card draw. So they're going to hit us for 7 this turn. We could block, we'll lose a creature. Don't really want to lose a creature. We don't have very much choice. We're not going to block. And we're not going to be able to do 16 damage to them in 1 turn either. If we had a Reckless Impulse, maybe we could draw something useful. It's quite unlikely. Especially when they have a Steel Seraph as well. It's a 4/4. Oh, we have a Feldon. You never know. We can attack with a Feldon. It's really not enough to do anything though. So if I give the Feldon haste as well. Well, it has haste anyway. If I give it the +1, it's probably going to block it with a Seraph. Doesn't really make much difference. We're not getting through here. Let's just attack with all. Just to see what they do. Okay, they're blocking Feldon with the Seraph, which gives us 4 cards to choose from. Maybe we'll get a Play with Fire. Not that it makes much difference because they still have the other creatures. let's have a look what cards we draw. Interesting. Lightning Strike, Facebreaker. We can play it this turn. It's not enough though. It's just Lightning Strike. Let's just imagine they were on 3 health. They had 3 life left. They didn't. Oh well. And you're dead. And we're dead. There's nothing we can do there. Felt like it was kind of close. No, it wasn't. Okay, they're going first. We have Feldon, we have Reckless Stormseeker, we have some Lightning Strikes. We have enough land to get us going. So, we have too much land. Let's see how we do against black and red. And green. Any more colours? Garligritas. Don't really like Garligritas. I'm going to give them one chance. They don't want to block. So we're going to get this out first, and next turn, whether they get a counter on Garligritas, create a treasure token, or gain life, we can get rid of them with Play with Fire, or get rid of whatever else they put out. Okay. Put the counter on. They're attacking, so they can't block with that one. So let's go with, we have 3 mana. We can definitely get rid of that one. Let's go with Play with Fire. Should be Lightning Strike as well. I feel like it's a bit much. Yeah, let's get rid of all their creatures. For all we know, they might not have any more. We'll see. It's kind of wishful thinking. They're obviously going to have something more. Shakedown Heavy. Presumably is going to attack each turn. But I could battery. Let's just... Should we attack with all? Yeah, I want to kill this. I want to see if he's going to block any of them. So I can always Lightning Strike it. To make sure we get rid of them. And we're going to get 6 cards to look at. Right, what do we want out of these 6 cards? Ooh. Another Stormseeker? Don't need another mountain, right? We've got 4. We could do Kumano and do that now. Make other ones stronger. We could put out Facebreaker next turn and possibly put Rabbit Battery onto Facebreaker. So it's going to make it a 4/5 menace that will create a treasure token. So that sounds pretty good to me. Okay. Return a creature card. I am going to take the damage. I'm going to take the damage because I don't mind losing a little bit of life. Oh, I did want to put Facebreaker in there. Atsushi is even more tempting. Let's go with it. Doesn't have haste though. Kind of wish it had haste. But 5/5 trample might stop them attacking me. They might just have a murder card in their hand, who knows. No, they're going to bring something else back. I guess the Facebreaker again. Not the Facebreaker. The Shakedown Heavy. Bringing it back again. Do I want to draw a card? No, I am going to... Actually, should we get rid of that? No, let's just get... Oh, that's Menace as well? That gives it Menace? Does I have Menace anyway? Oh my goodness, I forgot I had Menace. Okay, so we're not going to block it. We're going to take out this one at least. Or are we? We're going to take 8 damage. Yeah, we've got to take out one of them. I wonder what else they have in their hand. Might be enough to ruin our day. Okay, they did damage the wrong way around. Is there a reason for that? They have a Lightning Strike. They have a Strangle. Okay. So, they can do 2 damage to us. If I go with treasure tokens. Might sound strange, but we're going with it. That has haste. 4, 5, 6. That's going to be 4. We're going to play out Facebreaker and Stormseeker. And then we're going to reconfigure onto, let's refigure onto edging. Pay that treasure. They can block if they want to, but they're going to lose it. Create another treasure token, and let's enter. So as long as they don't have anything amazing in their hand, which I think we should be alright with. Of course they have menace, so we're going to take the damage anyway. Do we want to sacrifice a creature? Let's see. No. This is risky. This is very risky. Okay. So, we're going to sacrifice... Oh, they're giving up. Okay. I guess we could probably do enough damage anyway. Okay, we have Rabbit Battery, Berserker, we have Squee, we have 3 lands. We have Twin Inferno if we need it. We're against white and blue. I'm going to guess soldiers, because it's always soldiers. Might be wrong. Okay. So we're going to hold play with fire in case we need it. Not put anything out. Interesting. Let's keep it. Feel like we might still need it. So, while they don't have anything out, and we're kind of stuck on lands, go with Facebreaker or I go with Squee. Facebreaker will help us get other things out like Atsushi. I have a feeling the opponent's going to have something here with their 3 mana. So it probably doesn't really matter what we do. There we go, make disappear. Okay. That's fine, let's keep going. We have plenty more creatures where that came from. Would have been slightly better if it was Squee. Squee could go to our graveyard and we could possibly bring it back. Again, I'm feeling like Wandering Emperor is likely here. So, we want to possibly just get out Atsushi. Let's see, might get countered. Let's try with Squee, if you think it might get countered. There you go, it did get countered. But Squee goes to our graveyard, and we could possibly use Squee if we can exile 4 other cards from our graveyard. We only have 2 in our graveyard at the moment. Okay, they're drawing for cards, or looking through their library and putting 2 cards into their hand. So let's see. I don't feel like they're going to put out many creatures, so let's just use Play with Fire. Yeah, let's get Lightning Strike. Let's just get some more things that we can cast that will go into our graveyard. We're feeling they're not going to be able to block the counter. There we go, they have nothing left there. Counter. So maybe Atsushi's going to get through. Although they probably won't kill Atsushi. They'll probably exile or bounce Atsushi back to our hands. So it won't get the when it dies trigger. Oh well. And graveyards. We've lost Squee as well. Okay, let's go get back into it with Feldon doing damage. Fairy. Okay, we can definitely kill Teferi next turn. Unless they put something else out. We could kill something else if they put it out. Okay. Let's see what they've got. Destroy. Okay, well, we've done that. Didn't do damage, it just destroyed. But I also want to get rid of Teferi, so I'm going to get rid of Teferi anyway.
This is hardly my worst defeat.
And I might as well put out the battery. No, the battery has haste. I might as well wait and then use the clue. We're not doing great on lands right now. I thought I'd have too many. We really could do with more lands. And let's walk into the counter spell, shall we? Or we'll just go a little bit slower. See how they like our little creatures attacking. A Hull Breaker. Of course it's a Hull Breaker. Oh my goodness. Okay, well versus the rabbit, I'm going to say the Hull Breaker wins. I'm also going to say that Hull Breaker wins against everything. Especially if they have anything in their hand at all. Any instance. So we can do 3 damage. We can get some damage through with Reckless Stormseeker. But if they have even one instant, they're just going to bounce Reckless Stormseeker straight back to our hand. And I'm pretty sure they have something. Anything at all. It'll bounce back to our hand. And what do they have? They're taking their time. They're going to Fading Hope themselves to then return that to me. Is there much point in that? We can cast it again. Okay, I'm not quite sure what the point of doing it that way was. So, we have 5 mana, we have a 2. We can do 3, 4, so that's 6 damage. And we can do Twinferno. So if, imagine this, if they didn't have an instant, we could still win this game. Because we do 5, 6, 7. Just waiting for them to cast the instant in their hand. There we go. We can send something back to our hand. And they can destroy the other one. But if not, we're on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage with the creatures. And we could have done Twinferno as well to give it double strike. So we could have won, but we didn't. So close. 1 spell off. Okay, lots of spells. Probably not the best starting hand. Depends what the opponent has. Oh, white and blue. Interesting. Okay, let's see what they do. We can either kill a creature or we can use this to scry. No creatures. Let's see if we can scry. Get something useful. Another land? I guess so. But by the time we get Atsushi out, they're going to have something to counter us. Probably. Unless they're just soldiers. And not counter spells. It's looking very control-y right now. This would be great if they weren't playing control spells. Because we'd be able to get Atsushi out as a 5/5 flying trample. But they're not going to do anything. They're going to wait. With their Wandering Emperors. Or their counter spells. Okay, here comes our Atsushi that's walking into a trap. An obvious trap. But my only other option is not to play anything. Which is letting them take their time. Put their mana down. So that's not going to help me either. I'm not even in a rush to kill it. I'm guessing it's a Wandering Emperor they have. If so, let's see if we can play around it. See if they want to do anything about the Kumano and not Atsushi. Because we can give Atsushi double strike. So we can do 10 damage in one turn. If we can just get the Wandering Emperor to... there's Fading Hope, okay. That's alright, I'll just play it out again. Another 1 damage. If I can get it down to 10 and draw out, I'm presuming, a Wandering Emperor from them, then we can give Atsushi double strike and we'll win. No, it's unlikely. It's very unlikely. Because they've had time to build up some mana, they haven't really played any spells yet, they've got a full hand of who knows what. Depopulate. Bye bye Atsushi. But we can exile some cards. We could do treasure tokens, but we need creatures, so let's exile some cards. Okay. Well, at least we can Reckless Impulse to see what else we can draw. More lands. Oh my goodness, look at that. Okay. Fate. More lands, wow. So this doesn't have haste and can't get haste, so let's not play it until after we attack with Kumano and see what they've got. There's the Emperor. It's a shame a Braid is damage to target creature, not creature or planeswalker. Let's get out Facebreaker now. Because it has Menace, there's a good chance we might be able to kill the Emperor next turn, although who knows, they might have a second one in their hand. Depopulate again, okay. Well, there goes the Facebreaker. They're getting low on cards, but they're going to start making samurais shortly.
I have got new moves to teach you.
Okay, well let's just... we don't want to give them a chance to do that, so we're going to copy a spell. Just to get double use out of this Lightning Strike. And we're going to Lightning Strike the Emperor. And the copy is going to go to their face.
Try not to miss me.
And they have to ferry. Another mythic. So against these mythics, our commons and uncommons are not going to do very well. See, even in bronze rank, you're going to find people that have rares and mythics. We really do want to have a very good deck that we've made out of the wild cards we have, which is something that we can work on next. But I know that we can get somewhere with these starter decks if we don't draw too much land. 9 land, look at that. We have more land than they do. Might be a sign that we're slightly unlucky at the moment.
Second here, second there. Who's counting?
We've had a few games where we've had too many spells, not enough creatures, so maybe if we wanted to adjust the deck, we would add a few more creatures, take out maybe some of the abrades that might not be as useful. Twin Inferno could help us win games, maybe. Maybe take out a couple of abrades and put in some more creatures. I'm also missing Phoenix Chick because my mono red aggro deck uses Phoenix Chick, and we didn't have this in this free-to-play account that we just started. So I could craft it. They're only uncommons, but we haven't yet. Teferi is close to getting to the ultimate -7 ability. When it does that, there's no way we're winning the game anyway. They have the other Teferi. Well, we're definitely dead. Let's just move on.
No matter the time or place, I'm ready.
All those Planeswalkers, all those extra abilities, all that card draw. Right, I'm not going to play Commando on turn 1. Because one thing our deck definitely needs when we upgrade it is creatures that cost 2 mana. We have 3 and 4, lots of 3s. We need some more 2s so that we can get better use out of Commando. Virtuoso, okay. So I really want to play a creature, but I also know that once they get Virtuoso out, they're going to do everything they can to protect it. So it's actually more in my interest to kill Virtuoso when they don't have any mana available. And I can still put out Facebreaker and this Commando. So next turn I can get Atsushi out. And I can even do a Lightning Strike. Okay, at the beginning of each combat, if it's untapped, we tap an untapped creature we control. If we do, tap the creature. So, do we want to tap the creature? Do we want to tap a creature we control? Beginning of each combat. Okay, well, sure. Oh wait, we want? Oh, I'm confused. Oh, I see. If we tap a creature, then they make the thing. That's just stupid. Okay, well. Gathering Throng. Interesting card to have here. So that Kraken, I don't think I've seen anyone play that before, which is why I had to read the card and misread it. Interesting, interesting. 6/6 for 4, Ward 2, that's not too bad. Security bypass. Right, if I tap a creature, they make another one. But I don't really want them to, well, do I care? I'm going to let them get away with this for now. Should let them get away with it for now, just because I can make all these different things. Let's attack with this and this. Do we want to attack with another Commando? Sure. Do we want to attack with all of them? Sure. Why not? Let's attack with everything. Have to figure out their blocks. And we also have a Lightning Strike. Good news. We have a Lightning Strike. Come on. Let me play it. Okay, make treasure, and you die. Thank you. Okay, we got there. Even though I kept misreading the card. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, and we're back after those matches. We played 4 matches. We won 2. We lost 2. It wasn't the best. There's definitely some things we could do to improve the deck that we have. But like I said, this is just using the cards we happen to have, and it's showing that even then we can win some games in the ranked ladder. So what would I do to change things? I would put some Phoenix Chicks in here, maybe take out the Rabbit Batteries, take out some Abrades, put some other 2-mana creatures in here because we don't have very many 2-mana creatures, probably take out the Cliff Stomper because it's a bit slow. Draconic Destiny, we didn't actually get to use at any point. I think it's a good one though, I think I'd keep it in there. And definitely Feldon, maybe having another Feldon in there would help us draw more instants and sorceries. Okay, so that's all we have for the red deck today. Next, we're going to be playing with one of the other starter decks that we've made out of the basic cards that we've picked up. And we'll see how we do in our next games in Ranked.